Good morning, you guys. It is 9:46 and bear with me, I'm getting used to not looking up top and looking directly in the lens. Today is, as you can tell by the caption, the morning of my postpartum visit. And sorry, I'm making coffee. I never fill up the Keurig with water. Like, I always do it in the morning of. You would think that I would just like fill the whole thing and then wouldn't have to do this, but you don't learn. I don't learn. So okay, today is the morning of my postpartum visit, and so originally, I don't know if you guys all know this, but Layra came 2 weeks late. So my doctor, you know how they always schedule the appointments out? So my doctor had already scheduled my postpartum appointment. So she had scheduled it, but I was only like 4 weeks postpartum, but I still went in to see her. I was like, might as well. I mean, what? Because when you have a C-section, they kind of just let you go, and then they don't follow up with you. At least through Kaiser, they didn't. So I was like, I'd rather not tell her that I had her 2 weeks later and just come in and have her look at it. So she looked at it, and she was like, wow, this is textbook. Like, the way you're healing is like textbook healing. Like, you're healing perfectly. I still want to see you. Sorry about the lighting. I'm going in and out of it. I still want to see you in 2 weeks, so you have a true postpartum visit. But I mean, everything looks good. So here we are today, and my true postpartum appointment is at 2:45, and I will, because Layra is going to be 8 weeks on Thursday, so technically it's like an 8-week postpartum. I think that's a little bit later, but for a C-section, I mean, it's perfect. I'm going to turn on the light here for you guys. And Layra's sleeping. Don't want to wake her up. Tippy toe. So 8 weeks, I was like, that's actually perfect, because it'll be closer to when I would feel comfortable working out. And when, you know, 2 months is a long time, even for surgery. I don't want to go in just 4 weeks or 5 weeks. I'd rather go a little later and see them, or see her. So I was really excited, and I was like, things are going great. Like, I wasn't even tripping off of it. I wasn't even thinking about my C-section or my postpartum visit, because I was like, we're in the clear. So yesterday, I told Ariel, I was like, can you look at my incision, because it's starting to kind of like bother me, not internally, but I was like, it's starting to hurt. Like, it's starting to feel funny. And he looked at it, he's like, no, it's just like a little bit of redness, like, you're totally fine. And I was like, nah, something isn't like right. I don't feel like good about this. I am so sorry for like the different angles. So I was like, I don't feel comfortable with how it's feeling. But then we went to church and all that jazz, and it started getting worse. Now, where I think I made a mistake is I wore these tight jeans, and I think that irritated it, because towards the end of the night, this is like TMI, but I mean, it started, so the incision is completely closed. I was like Googling, and I shouldn't have, but like there was people talking about how they had like a size of a pea, like the incision opened, or like 2 inches, where like the doctors, they went and saw their doctor, and their doctor was like, oh, just go home and cover it and you'll be good. Like, things like that. I was like, oh my gosh, that's what's gonna happen to me. But it's not open, okay? It's like irritated. And so at first I was like, okay, that's fine if it's irritated. But then towards the end of the night, I was like up feeding Layra, and I went to the bathroom, and it was like pussy a little bit. So I was like, okay, this is like infected, because that's the first sign. I don't have a fever, but it is a little, gosh, people who like do YouTube for a living would like cringe at how bad this is. So it started above my incision, like 2 inches. You could tell it's infected because it's a little swollen above my incision, meaning my body is responding to an infection, so it's trying to fight it off. It doesn't look that serious, but I know that I'm not going to be able to train, and I mean, that's the least of my worries, but I just don't want to be on antibiotics or something bad where I can't feed Lyra or have it get worse, you know. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to call Kaiser to see if I can actually, I'm going to set you guys down just for a second so I can like call Kaiser and then also put almond milk in my coffee. But yeah, so I'm gonna call Kaiser to see if I can make an earlier appointment, because if it is infected, like I believe it is, I want to make sure that I get to it as soon as possible. Now, if we can just find my phone so that I can call. So that's where we're at with that. It sucks big time. I did not expect for that to happen last night, and it hurts like when I move, not internally, but it hurts when I move. So it just, you know, it's not the way I wanted things to go, but God definitely has different plans every single time, that's for sure. So I'm gonna call Kaiser right now and see if I can move that appointment up.
Helping you today? Are you calling for yourself?
Yes.
Your first and last name?
Linda, and then the last name you guys have on file should be Machado.
Okay, how can I help you?
I actually had an appointment for today at 2:45 with Barbara Hazelton, but I actually wanted to see if I could move that up because I have an infection. I had a C-section, and so it's a 8-week post or 7-week postpartum appointment, but I wanted to see if I could actually see anyone as soon as possible, because last night I started developing an infection on the incision.
Okay, let's see what we can do. What's your phone number with the record first?
Okay, so I'm in here. I don't really know why I had to just say I'm in here. I'm so new to YouTube, I feel like I have to like set up. But so I just answered a bunch of questions, and then the doctor's gonna come in. It's not my doctor, but I just want to be seen ASAP. So obviously I can't have this going when they're in here, but I just want to keep you guys updated as to what's going on. So I'll see you soon. Okay, I'm gonna totally whisper so they think I'm still changing in here. But basically, I just told them I want to do my whole postpartum. I don't mean to whisper, let's be serious in here. They're gonna do my whole postpartum check. So, because they're like, just come back at 2:45 to do your postpartum. I'm like, can you just do it? You know, check me and then do my whole postpartum. They're coming. Oh. Okay. You know how like I used to be so scared of like doctors and nurses, and it used to always freak me out, but it's just like God has really shown me how he puts certain people in certain professions, and I just have been so blessed with like nurses and doctors, and even now just leaving, it's like I just feel so blessed to be able to be under the care of such amazing people like Kaiser of Walnut Creek. If you can ever make that decision to come here, I highly recommend it. I could give you a few names of the people who have been such a blessing in my life in terms of the whole pregnancy process. So I'll make it quick because Ariel is waiting for me in the truck and with Layra, and I hate when Layra's in a car seat for too long, first mom problems. But basically, long story short, I was actually able to see my doctor as well. So she came in, I'm gonna insert a picture here. And so I was able to see her. So after I saw the doctor who, you know how I told you guys I had to make a improv like appointment because of my infection. Well, I saw him, and then he's like, do you want to see Barbara? She's in the next room. So we got to talk, and she asked about Ariel and how Layra was doing. I just love that when they make it personal. So basically he said he still thinks everything, or he said that everything looks good. That a good way of thinking about it is that the body is probably just getting rid of like nasty stuff that's still there. But he said that it could have worked out at 6 weeks postpartum, and I'm over here like, are you kidding me? I'm so glad I waited for 8 weeks. But he's like, yeah, it actually, unless you have like a complicated pregnancy postpartum, it's actually good to work out like right at 5-6 weeks. I literally just stared at him like, okay. But it's just cool to know that doctors are seeing that more and more, not only with health, or not only with working out, but also nutrition. So that's a whole different thing. But anyways, he said that it's not a huge infection. It's just my body's way of getting rid of anything that's not agreeing with. And he used the example of like when you get a splinter, either you can take it out or your body can just over time do its thing and push it out. So same thing with this. Maybe I just thought it was a bigger issue because he looked at it and he said it's looking perfect. It's still looking really good. But I'm just glad that I came in here, checked it out. You know, I had not only one but two people say you're good, and he said that he could put a request for antibiotics, but if he thinks that everything's okay, I don't really want to take that because it does go through the breast milk, and he said that it's the safest one. But if I don't have to and he's okay with it, then, you know, why am I gonna take it? He said he's gonna put it on file in case it does get worse, but he doesn't think it will. That way I'll just have it on file, you know, in the event, so I don't have to go back in, see a doctor, request antibiotics. It's already on my file. And then he also suggested that I just put like hot compress on it, like a moist clean towel, and just continue to keep it clean, and just continue to put warm stuff on it. So I'm just so happy. Not about working out, but just that it's not bad. Like, he looked at it and bless his heart, he probably wanted to be like, you shouldn't have came in today just to see this. But it's just reassuring when you think something's really wrong and a doctor makes you feel like, no, you're gonna be okay, it's not a big deal. But good thing you came in. Have to get out of the way. These people are probably gonna be like, what you doing, girl? You ain't Beyonce. I have to find Ariel through this parking lot too. I'll call him, but I'm trying to find my cell phone. But I'm just so happy. I'm happy that there's nothing wrong. I'm happy that, oh, that's something else I forgot. I actually did my whole postpartum checkup because I didn't want to come back at 2:45. You know, that's a waste of time. It's almost already like 12-ish. So I was like, you know what, just do the whole thing. So they did They check my breasts to make sure that everything's okay with breastfeeding. They did a pelvic exam. They did all that interesting stuff, and he was so awesome. Normally I feel like uncomfortable with a male doctor. That's just me, but he just made me feel, thought someone honked at me. He just made me feel so at ease and just so very comfortable. And he was like, you know, there's some doctors that you see and then it's like in and out, right? You go in, they, you know, and you could tell they're on a time crunch. He like took his time. He's not even my regular doctor, and he took his time explaining everything and just making me feel comfortable. So 2 good things. I don't have anything to worry about with this little infection, and that I can start training. To be honest, I probably won't start training until this goes away, because I don't want to be doing something and then have it irritated. You know what I mean? Just play it safe. I'm not in a rush. I'm like 9 pounds away from my pre-pregnancy weight. I feel fine. I feel healthy. I haven't been eating like crap during my pregnancy. I never really ate like bad, so I just feel good. And I feel like, just praise God that everything is okay, and just, it's just so amazing how good God is, and how he just continues to protect me. And just every time I get scared or anything, he always shows me to like, just trust me, just trust in me. So honestly, I don't even have to work out with all this walking in this parking lot. That's the only bummer with this, is that with this hospital, is it's right in downtown Walnut Creek, which is sweet because you can always go shopping or go eat at nice restaurants when you're not prepping. But then parking is so horrible. Like, you're always late to your appointment because, like, I'm on the 3rd floor and these cars still haven't found parking. And you know what? I probably passed Ariel up. But that's it. I am going to end this vlog here. So the next vlog will probably be a sit down with just answering all of the questions, or if I don't get a lot of questions, I will probably do first day of going back to working out. But all is good, and to God the glory. And this just goes to show, like, you shouldn't be scared to go to the doctor. I'm always terrified. But okay, I'm rambling. I need to go find my child and my husband. Thanks for watching, guys.